Welcome back. 4.5 updates to my 996 C4S. 1.5 have to do with big and tall. The other one's not so much. So won't make this nearly as long as the last couple of videos, or at least the last one. So we'll get into the list of updates since last we spoke. Starting with work from the outside in. How's that? This person on my left doesn't hit me. Number one, C4S, or I'm sorry, Porsche decals on the rockers. The good folks at Ren Decal went with a two-tone set. Wasn't quite sure how they're light gray and dark gray. I was trying to do something a little subdued, so it's got a light stripe and a dark Porsche text. The Porsche text really blends in very subtly with the seal gray exterior on my C4S. Not quite sure. Let me know what you think. Hit up the comments. You know, I never installed the decal before. Watched a lot of YouTube videos. Just went slow. It went fine. Maybe if you're a professional installer, you won't think so, but let me know what you think. Update number 2. Start in a little bit. So after my last video, I came in and I parked the car and was sitting in the garage for a minute. And this is, maintenance run in February. Nothing, wasn't pushing the car hard at all. Wouldn't even call it a spirited drive. Paved roads, central Indiana, no big deal. But parked the car, got out, walked around the front of it in the garage. There's coolant coming out the right nose of the car. Take it to my Indy. Find out there's the top inlet on the right front radiator. The weld had broken. Didn't lose much in the way of coolant at all. Engine got nowhere near overheating. Nothing even remotely close to that. Decided to replace the OEM, the stock original units with CSF aluminum radiators on both sides, left and right. So wasn't expecting that, but we got that done, staying cool, which is kind of hard to do this summer the way it's been. Let's see, we're up to update number 3 for all you Inglorious Bastard fans. 3. Let's see. IMS bearing. Pulled the trigger. Elective surgery, got it done. Again, with my independent mechanic, Redstone Performance Engineering here on the northwest side of Indianapolis. Did not use an LN unit. They're a big fan of the European Part Specialties, the EPS roller bearings. Got to see the unit go in, before it went in. It is so robust. You look at it and you're like, that makes sense. When you see the old bearing come out and you think to yourself, no, the EPS bearing, that makes sense. It's big, it's substantial, it looks like it's supposed to be on an intermediate shaft. And the punchline to all this is, what did the old bearing look like? Looked fine. Looked absolutely fine, right? But don't care. Really don't care for what I've got into this. For what I've got into this machine, I think it's money well spent. If I ever get around to selling it, that's going to be one of the first questions to get asked. By most Porsche buyers, you look on, like bring a trailer, for example. Everyone's talking about whether or not the IMS, the bearing got done. So did it, made sense. They took good care of it. Runs great. So that was number 3. Number 4 number 4. Oh, number 4. This is a big and tall update on the inside. GT3 console delete. Those are hard to find. Ended up going through Renpart. I'll put a link in the description. They had one at what is today, I think, reasonable prices. I think I got it just before they went on the Renlist forums and said that Porsche had issued a price increase right before then. So got that. Install was very straightforward. I think I'd watched the video by the throttle cable here on YouTube. He talked about having to drill out the front holes that go underneath the center console shroud. That was absolutely right. Just so happened the bit that happened to be in my drill worked perfectly for that. I think it took me, I'd already had it apart. I think the install took me all of another 10 or 15 minutes by the time I got undoing everything and putting it back together. So, looks great. It does give you a lot more room, especially if you drive with your leg out to the side just a little bit. Your throttle leg for you American drivers. If you go to the right just a little bit, you will definitely notice a difference. Much cleaner look on the inside. 10/10 would recommend. Let's see. I have a 5th one. Not 4.5. It's 5.5. Number 5. Just did this over the last 2 days. There was a clear bra or front only paint protection film over the headlights across the lower part of the hood or the bonnet for you folks in Europe. It was old when I got the tint done on this car originally. Those folks who also do PPF on a lot of high-end cars, their shop had a shop 991 GT3, if that tells you anything. They said, yeah, it probably needs to come off. What a pain in the... glad I don't have to do that every day. But learned a few things. One, Goo Gone does not work on the adhesive, at least on this particular unit. 2, the 3M adhesive remover aerosol spray does work pretty good. I fear it's probably a little too aggressive because 3, and where I ended up is using, and I see this all over the forums too, was a recommendation for Rapid Tack Remover or Rapid Remover by Rapid Tack. Completely recommend that. It's not nearly as aggressive as the 3M, but works plenty well. Let me set up my camera a little bit. Just, you take your time. Got a $40 steam cleaner that helped loosen up the PPF film, make it a little more pliable. Got a cheap plastic razor blade holder off of Amazon and a bunch of blades, and that's the trick. You think those plastic blades don't wear out, but they do. So just change blades often, go slow. The paint underneath it looked great. You can see a bit of a line from the unprotected paint to the protected paint. So did a little bit of paint correction with the Meguiar's 2-step compound and a polish with my Torx machine this afternoon. Front end of the car looks great. There was PPF on the headlights too. Took those off. They look, one side looks brand new. Can't even tell that it was ever covered. The other side, it looks like it's got something underneath where the small beam is towards the inside. Looks like a little bit of crazing that's happened from the underside, oddly enough. I'll figure out how to sort that out. But anyhow, that's update number 5. That's the bonus whole update. Here's the half update, number 6, or number half. Number half is trying to get a new pair of seats in this. decided to order some Corbo RRX. First thing I'll say, love dealing with those guys. Shipping was prompt. The seats look great. I did the one with they call it the white plaid insert. They look fantastic in the car. I'll try to put a photo up here during some part of the video to show that. Thought it looked great. They just didn't fit my big butt. I ended up sitting basically on top of the bolsters, which were much more robust than I anticipated. So all I was trying to do with, going from the power comfort seats in my 996 to going to a manual seat was try and gain just even like an inch of headroom. But that wasn't the ticket. So instead of sending them back, found a local buyer here, another Porsche enthusiast. They're going in his wife's car. So in any event, that's 5.5 updates on my 996, and this thing will not stay still. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. Drive safe. Take all unnecessary chances. Bye.